Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Friday 28th February 2025 and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. CARICOM's Treaty of Chaguaramas to be amended. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. The legendary Treaty of Chaguaramas will be amended. This is according to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, who said last week at a CARICOM Community's Heads of Government meeting in Barbados that the decision was taken to make a change to the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said last week at the Caribbean Community's Heads of Government meeting in Barbados, the decision was taken to make a change to the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. Signatories of the treaty signed in Chaguaramas in 1973 were Barbados, Guyana, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. The agreement was designed to promote regional economic integration, foreign policy coordination, human and social development, as well as security for the people of the region. In 1989, the treaty was revised to improve standards of living and work. Dr. Rowley said this proposed amendment will be to the clause that says all CARICOM countries have to agree on regional decisions.
But to say that on matters where some countries are ready to go forward and others are not ready, that small subgroup that is ready to go forward must be allowed to go forward within the ambit of the revised treaty.
The Prime Minister revealed that there was one territory where there are already more foreign nationals in the country than citizens.
And that is why we have gone to revise the treaty, to allow the good of the freedom of movement. And I'm saying here to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, from the private sector, the public sector, we at CARICOM must support the freedom of movement within CARICOM if we are to get the benefit of such a decision and of such a market.
Dr. Rowley noted that the move toward food security for the region is also on the regional and local agenda. He said an area of food security will soon become available.
South America is our backyard. Once that road is built in Guyana, the Brazilians are there. South America is available as a source. But we would need to do our part. We need to have proper marine transport from a port in Guyana to a port in Trinidad. And once that is done, a new umbilical cord would have been raised.
The Prime Minister made his comments at a sod-turning ceremony in Point Lisas for the Nutrimix animal feed and pet food plant. Terry-Ann Brown-Campbell, TTT News.
Sunday, March 16th is the day the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, will officially leave office. The Prime Minister made the announcement as he addressed the commissioning ceremony for the Lisa Morris Julian Boulevard in Arima on Wednesday. Terry-Ann Brown-Campbell of TTT News reports.
Many have been waiting to hear when his last day in office will be. As he gave the feature address at the commissioning ceremony to rename the O'Meara Road in Arima to the Lisa Morris Julian Boulevard, the Prime Minister revealed the date.
We will have the Central Block on the 10th of March. And of course, on the 15th of March, we will take completion of the construction of the Tobago Airport Terminal building. And as we do that, I leave you on the 16th of March as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
The Prime Minister highlighted some of his administration's accomplishments, noting that when his team took up the mantle to run the country, the oil and gas market was in a major slump.
It has not been easy, but with the dedication that we have built the foundation with, we in Trinidad and Tobago can continue to look ahead at what we can do to make our country more efficient, to make our lives more comfortable, and to promote our country as a place to do business.
Meanwhile, Minister of Works and Transport Rohan Sinanan noted that more than 7,000 infrastructure projects have been completed over the 9-year period.
But I must say, the ministry still has a lot of work to do, and I think under Minister Young over the next 5 years, a lot will be accomplished. I thank you for this morning, and may we all continue to remember that stalwart, that workhorse, that humble member of Parliament, Ms. Lisa Morris Julian. Thank you.
Dr. Rowley and the People's National Movement have endorsed Minister of Energy and Energy Industries Stuart Young for the role as the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. When sworn in, he will be the country's 8th Prime Minister. Terry Ann Brown Campbell, TTT News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
In another item out of Trinidad, Calypsonian Hollis Liverpool, better known as the mighty Chalk Dust, has been conferred with the esteemed title of Professor Emeritus of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, UTT.
The university says this honor makes Professor Liverpool the second academic to receive this distinction at UTT, underscoring his unparalleled influence in education and culture, and says as a founding member of UTT's Academy of Arts, Letters, Culture and Public Affairs in 2005, Professor Liverpool played a key role in shaping its vision, serving as program leader and later as a senior academic fellow. The university notes that with over 65 years of experience as an educator at all levels, primary, secondary, and tertiary, Professor Liverpool has played an instrumental role in shaping young minds and not so young across the country and elsewhere.
In other news, the Vatican says Pope Francis's health is slightly improving, and its latest report has some positive news about his progress. More in this short CBS News clip.
Pope Francis, who has been hospitalized for 13 days now for pneumonia. The Vatican press office just put out a bulletin minutes ago saying his condition has improved slightly from critical. It says his slight kidney failure has resolved and blood tests are showing improvement. He is continuing oxygen therapy and his prognosis has improved slightly. We're told he devoted his afternoon to work activities. Now, we have been seeing over the past few days people gather to pray for the Pope around the world. A special service was held today inside the chapel of the hospital today, where the Pope has been staying, and people have been gathering in Vatican City nightly.
Armed gangs launched a fresh attack on Haiti's capital before dawn on Tuesday. The violence reportedly left several people dead in a Port-au-Prince neighborhood of Delmas 30. This Reuters news item tells us more.
Reuters saw people fleeing the gang violence, carrying their belongings, mattresses, and in one graphic clip, what appeared to be a body in a wheelbarrow. Local Alexis Josue was among those leaving the area.
I used to live at Delmas 30, but now I don't know whether to go up or down, whether to turn left or right. Why are we in this situation? Wherever they go, we run. We haven't slept since the day before yesterday because everyone was panicking. But now they've finished us at Delmas 30. Today is the end.
Gangs continue to operate unchecked in the Caribbean nation. More than 1 million Haitians, close to 10% of the Caribbean's most populous country, have been internally displaced. That's after a years-long conflict in which the gangs, who are armed, well-funded, and in a broad alliance, have expanded and cemented their control over much of the capital and surrounding areas. Police did not respond to Reuters' request for comment. Local rights group RNDDH said that they were not yet able to estimate a death count of Tuesday's events, but they heard reports of several people being killed or shot and several houses set on fire.
Around 15 people died in Delmas 30. I have a friend who sells meat at the market there, and they burned him in front of his child. I know a woman who lived very close to me, and they took her and her child and burned them. Spread the word. Tell the Americans to give us a chance to save Haiti.
One resident who spoke to Reuters and asked not to be identified made an appeal to Jimmy Cherizier, the former policeman who leads the Vivre Ensemble gang coalition, a group with ambitions to become a political party.
What has the population done to them? The population is fleeing, and they don't know where to go. When I look at that, I feel bad, because you're a former policeman, and you can't use other gangs to make the population flee. What have we done to you?
Crime remains a concern for tourism officials in Barbados. Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Ryan Ford, says they are anxious to hear law enforcement's stance on the reported rise in crime. He says they have been involved in a number of meetings with the Barbados Police Service and other agencies. Mr. Ford says as they address the concerns alongside the police, they are also looking to see where they can assist with funding and additional equipment which may be required.
We're interested in two areas: how we can play a bigger role in addressing both the crime challenges in the island as well as the transportation challenges, and what are the plans to address those challenges. We're also hoping to meet respectfully with the Attorney General and the Tourism Ministry to address the crime situation, as we have written to the Attorney General's office and are waiting a response to confirm when we can meet to discuss further. Once we have the meeting with the Attorney General and the Commissioner of Police, we'll be able to see where the BHTA can assist further, as we have done in the past. That being said, it would be remiss of me not to publicly express our thanks to the Barbados Police Service for their timely responses to reports and their continued guidance in these matters.
Collins Roll appeared in a magistrate's court in the Bahamas on Monday in connection with the smuggling of contraband into the prison while being a prisons officer. ZNS News has more.
From the courts, a corrections officer charged with smuggling contraband into the prison. Senior Magistrate Shaka Seville yesterday arraigned 31-year-old Collins Roll for possession of dangerous drugs with intent to supply and taking prohibited articles into a correctional facility. Prosecutors allege that last Thursday, February 20th, Roll smuggled a phone, 2 chargers, and 2 pairs of headphones into the prison. When he was stopped for the contraband, fellow officers allegedly also found 14 ounces of marijuana with a street value of $1,400. National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, commented on this latest incident of corruption.
The Bahamas Department of Correction and the correctional officers are no different from the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, or any other agencies. We recruit from the public. And so the same foibles that exist in the public may exist on the force. Each of the agencies use different methods in their recruitment exercise to seek to recruit only the best. But even recruiting only the best, you are recruiting human beings. And the measure of an organization, in my view, is not whether it has any members that stumble, that breaches the rules, but the measure of that institution is what it does when that happens.
am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.